from Robert Mason, from the End Machine to the Lynch Mob there to the Big Cock. Very talented singer, very nice guy. Just, Robert a little bit, don't you, Chris?
I do. I like Robert a lot. He's good people.
Remember when Big Cock, Dave Henzerling and Robert Mason teamed up and they put out those 3 releases basically in 3 years in a row?
You mean those 3 great releases?
They were great releases. The funny thing is, and this is one of the more prouder moments of the CMS.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys gravitated toward us.
Yeah, they did.
As their outlet to advertise or at least get the word out about this.
They went to the Classic Metal Show to share their big cock.
They did. but they realized that our humor and our audience would appreciate that the most.
Yeah.
And those guys did a takeover show.
They did.
And when they had new material out, it was amazing how quickly they churned out 3 records.
They did. Mm-hmm.
And then, it was sort of like a pet project. I think Robert and Dave were both in between gigs per se.
Right.
And this was just before Robert got the Warrant gig.
Right.
And he was out of Lynch Mob, and Dave Henzerling, of course, he was part of King Cobra.
Right.
What was his name in King Cobra? Something Phillips? Dave Phillips?
Something Anthony Michael Phillips or something. David.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And they were kind of in between projects. They were neighbors there in Arizona, Scottsdale, Arizona.
Right.
And they just worked together, and they wrote and churned out some funny songs.
They did.
Before Steel Panther.
And I'll argue all day long, better than Steel Panther.
Oh, absolutely. But see, they didn't do a parody of their music. Their music was all original.
Yeah, it was all original, and the songs were good, and they went more double entendre than just blatant. Yeah,
exactly.
I love it. I love, a lot of those. Really, there's not a bad song on those 3 discs.
And they were quality. I mean, they were just straight up in your face, just kick-ass songs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I loved me some Big Cock, as they used to say.
Right. Well, if you haven't heard of them,
yeah,
and if you can find them online somewhere, I recommend they have 3 CDs out. There's a self-titled Big Cock, and then they have Mother Lode, and then The Year of the Cock.
Let's see.
Those are the 3 discs out there.
I'm looking right now. There's bands. Oh, Big Cock is not on YouTube. Not on YouTube Music, anyway. It's got to be on YouTube. YouTube. God knows what I'm going to get when I search for Big Cock.
Yeah.
Which was always the problem.
Yeah, of course. But they realized that, it was not going to have mass appeal, and it would appeal to people who get the joke.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a pet project for those guys. They just did it for fun and shits and giggles, as it were.
Yeah, they're all out on YouTube.
Okay.
Big Cock, Mother Lode, and Big Cock, Year of the Cock. All are on YouTube.
Yeah.
So
just a lot of some funny lyrics.
Mm-hmm. And if you want to save yourself the hassle of having a Big Cock show up, got Big Cock Band. Not because I made the mistake of just searching Big Cock, and immediately first picture on YouTube is some guy with a fucking 14-inch heart on.
Of course.
Oh, good. Thanks. I'm glad you shared that with me. Anyway, so what are we talking about now?
Well, here's where we are as a society.
Okay.
This having to atone for this perceived slights or sins of the past years later, it only seems to apply to certain people.
Okay.
Now, the governor of Virginia basically came out and admitted that during his college years back in the early 80s, he dressed up at Blackface for party.
Sure.
He's a Democrat. Did he have to resign?
It's acceptable then, dude.
Nope. Didn't have to resign.
Of course not. It's acceptable.
Yeah. Well, his lieutenant governor is accused, and there's credible evidence that he sexually assaulted a woman. Did he have to resign? Nope.
No.
If you're a Democrat, you can get away with those things. It's perfectly acceptable.
Of course.
If you're a conservative or a Republican and you are caught up in the exact same thing, you have to resign immediately.
Dude,
because obviously you're a racist.
Let me just make this easy for you. If you want to be a racist, just switch parties.
Exactly.
Just be a Democrat. Then you can be as racist as you want.
Of course.
Look,
or you have an excuse for it. You're excused for your behavior.
You could be a white guy and pretend you're a black guy, and they accept you. Look at that Sean King guy.
Exactly.
Guy's more white than me or you, and he's accepted as a black man.
Of course. Well, here's why I brought this up. A campus police officer got fired over an old photo of him wearing blackface for dressing up as Flava Flav.
Okay. How old?
Well, let's find out.
All right.
Authorities at the University of Missouri fired a campus police officer after a photo of him wearing blackface emerged. Now, when did this become a fireable offense of something that you may have done 20 or 30 years ago?
When people let it be.
That's my point. It's like, so here's a guy, he shows up to work every day, and I don't know this to be fact. I'm just painting a picture here. So he shows up to work every day. He does his job, punches in, punches out, does what's expected of him. And then somewhere somebody digs up an old photo from his high school days and says, look at what this guy did. And they go, okay, you're fired because you did this in high school.
That's right.
I don't get that.
Well, dude, it's because people let it happen. You gotta step in on this shit and just say, no, fuck you. Not stopping, not quitting, not even apologizing.
Right.
Said this over and over and over again. The apology is the fucking give.
It is.
You can never apologize. Even if you did something wrong anymore, you can't apologize for it.
Nope.
If you fucking get drunk and go crash your car into some fucking school bus and kill 15 kids, you got to come out the bus or come out the car and say, you know what? I'm glad I did it. You can't apologize.
And hopefully you were playing some Motley Crue music to crash your car by.
That's right. Hopefully.
That'll be an excuse. Well, Nikki Sixx said it was fine, and he's apologetic for everything he did in the past, so.
Yeah, well, Vince is out of jail, so why shouldn't I be?
Yeah, pal.
Yeah, pal, fuck you.
Yeah.